Hello all. It's been a little while since I had a chance to get on here and talk to you, but it's Nutcracker season, so I am back in the shop dyeing point shoes. So I've been promising a video on how to handle the tricky casings and ribbons and elastics, and so I want to make sure that we walk through that a bit today. But there's been a couple of things I figured out over the course of the last year that I wanted to show you today. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and start with this particular shoe. Happened to find these little gadgets. They are a shoe stretcher, and they help make sure that your point shoes don't shrink on you when you are dyeing them, because that is a thing that some brands are a bit more prone to happen. So you can see I just make sure that the front end is down in the box and that the back is pulling the end tightly so that it's nice and stretched. Now this one is ready to go. I've got its buddy ready to go as well. I went ahead and invested in a vent hood to help make my airbrush spraying a little bit easier. So while you still can do this with the travel airbrush kit or with the misting spray bottle, I do a lot of shoes because I also dye them in different colors like black for performances for my local studio. So for me, it just made sense to have a more expanded process here because I do a lot of these shoes. So I mixed up my dye for my number 3 today, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn on my hood, and I'm going to get ready to dye this pair of shoes. Now you can see I'm just being careful to make sure I get all of the shoe evenly. I keep my airbrush moving so that I don't get any splotches or blotches. But you'll also see that these casings do not dye evenly with the dye the way that it's coming out of the airbrush. So they will need a little touch up later. And certain companies, their casings really don't dye, so it's good to pay attention to which way they're going. But in the next part of the video, I'll show you how to do this one. All right, so I'm out. Let me quick add some more dye. And this is why you wear gloves. And so this color is my number 3. This dancer happens to wear the Capezio Caramel, I believe, tights. But this also works with the number 3 True Bear tights and a few different things. One thing that I've also found over the last year that's really interesting is if your dancer likes to shellac or jet glue their shoes ahead of wearing them, it is really important that they actually dye them first and then jet glue them second, because if any of the jet glue gets out on the edge of the shoe, the dye will not take on that part of the shoe. So just a little heads up on that part. Alright, so this shoe looks good. So before and after. But again, these are wet, so they will lighten up a little bit as they dry. So every time I mix this dye up, I use about 150 milliliters of water, and that's honestly enough to probably do 2 pair of shoes. So it's a little bit tricky to just be doing 1 pair. It's a lot easier if I can do more pairs at a time. But this dancer only needs 1 pair right now, so we'll just keep it going. And the nice thing about the shoe stretchers also is it gives you a really nice hold, like a handle to hold on to the shoe while you're airbrushing it. Just helps make the whole thing a little bit smoother. So it's always important to make sure you're getting under the platform. Those pleats can be kind of tricky. And then make sure you get around the edge of the shank as well. And then I like to always double check that I've got the back, because that can be easy to kind of forget. Just a little more of a coat. And this I tend to not need to go over it a second time. The only thing is, it's good to look over it and make sure you didn't miss any spots, but it's not, it's really easy to get one even coat on it the first time. Then just a visual check that they're looking about the same tone. Maybe hit the inside a little bit if you feel like it needs it, but there we are. Now we're just going to let those dry, and I will come back and take a look at the casings to see if they are evenly colored, and if not, I will show you how I deal with those next.